This is Beverly Hills, the bit you don't see, at 7:30 in the morning. I had to get up at a ridiculously early time to get to Sony Studios. But maybe I can walk through here. Let's have a look. Look at all these places, all boarded up. The economy is not good. And the spirit of Beverly Hills, and it definitely has a spirit, is one of extravagance and creamy delights. It's a bit like Monte Carlo set in California. And when everything's shut up and places are going out of business, it's terribly bleak. And this is a little bleak. Oh, actually, this is kind of nice. There you go. I don't even know what street we're on. This is why I'm a hopeless documentary maker. I show you everything when it's bleak and empty. Look at this. There's almost nobody around, and the only people around are the people who are going to work in the kitchens to feed the Beverly Hills people when they finally arise from their beds. You see, that's what's so wonderful about California, is that you'll just be walking down the street and see a shark on top of a car. Oh look, there are people on a photo shoot there. Oh no, they're actually statues. Ha! I was fooled. This is a very bizarre kind of statue with a dog, a child and a woman. And then some guy, I guess is supposed to be her husband. Wow, look how old-fashioned his camera is. You think he'd use his phone? Probably the sculptor was 95 or something, didn't know that there were phone cameras. Down here, they're building the subway that goes, I think, to the ocean maybe, or somewhere. It's the Purple Line extension, 24-hour construction zone. I would never go on the metro. I just don't like being in a capsule trapped with strangers who might talk to me or ask me for money or whatever, or produce a machete and attack me. Some might say I have a vivid imagination. This is creepy. Look at this. This isn't the Beverly Hills I remember. This is the Regent Beverly Wilshire Hotel. Actually, I think it's the Four Seasons now. It used to be the Regent Beverly Wilshire. This is where, everybody will tell you, this is where Pretty Woman was filmed. And also Clueless and Sex and the City, the movie, that was shot here. Plus a bunch of TV shows and all manner of things. I stayed here during my my Hollywood heyday. Stayed in a suite here, which is very, very nice of the network to pay for that. But Anthony Bourdain, who I was traveling with, he went in the Chateau Marmont, which I showed you the other day. But I went in here. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Right in the middle of Beverly Hills, which again is completely empty. I'm the only person here. But it's really, really good. And I think I'm going to have breakfast here as a treat. Oh, when they show you documentaries of Beverly Hills, they always show you this thing up here. It's a little crescent of shops. I'll go up there afterwards and let's go now. Let's go now, and then I'll come back for breakfast. But they always show you that. And then Rodeo Drive, of course, because that's where all the fancy schmancy restaurants are. But we're going to go in here for breakfast, I've decided. Oh, we can't go up. They chain it off. I guess to stop people vandalizing it. But it's a cute little crescent, or well, it's not even a crescent, it's like a half crescent of stores and restaurants. Very, very Beverly Hills. And this is where they shoot TV commercials and movies and stuff, and where a lot of people in Beverly Hills actually go for lunch. It's very, very bustly during the day, and tourists love it, of course, because it's so cute. But whoever thought of building this is a genius, because they've managed to fit in a whole bunch of stuff into a very, very tiny space. And the end result is charming, I would say, but quite expensive. This is right by Tiffany's. And if it's by Tiffany's, you know that it's expensive. But the Regent Beverly Wilshire is across the street. Look how fabulous that is. I thought we could go here for breakfast, and I'll show you inside, because it's really, really nice. I love these kind of places. I'm surprised nobody's mistaken me for Sarah Jessica Parker yet, because that happens a lot. But no, this really, really is a delight. And although it's not the main aim of my day, to begin here in the Regent Beverly Wilshire, the Four Seasons is what it's called now, to begin here is really quite fantastic. I don't know why these places are my dream places. Maybe because I never had it when I was younger. I love the fact that I can sit in here now and just have breakfast and enjoy something that I was deprived of for decades. That's what the real appeal is. This is the lobby, so I'm just going to touch this pillar. It was built in the 1920s as a series of apartments initially, and then it turned into this vast sprawling hotel. So let's just touch this for a second, see what I get. 1928, I think. Very strong resistance to my touch. Now, they're pillars, so they're support structures, and you would expect them to be strong. But this is more, dare I use the word arrogance here? This is about arrogance. About making a stand. Resisting negativity or detractors, or maybe the guy who built it was like, I'm going to build it here. It's going to be this massive structure. I know you don't want it. I know it's too high, but I want to do it. And I own the land. I think it used to be a speedway track before it was a hotel. Maybe the guy was too strong. And the intention underlying it was like a force of arrogance. I know you don't want it, but I'm going to build it anyway. Quite unpleasant, actually. Not a pleasant attitude at all. But the end result is fantastic, of course. It's absolutely beautiful. What a difference a breakfast makes. They've now opened this shopping centre here, so I thought I'd just take you through it very quickly. They have this relentless music pumping out, which I really find irritating. I think it's so presumptuous to give people music wherever they go, thinking, well, they're going to love it because it's music. No. Look at this. It's also cute. I guess tables fill this. In fact, here are the tables. They pull out the tables and they fill the square here, and it's very European. In fact, the Regent Beverly Wilshire is a very European type of place. It's like in an E shape and looks as though it could belong in Paris or something. Very, very elegant. Tom Cruise has lived there for a while. The Obamas were there. British royalty. JFK. I mean, just everybody goes there. There are a lot of other hotels in the area that compete for the business, but it's really the Beverly Wilshire that gets the main star attraction. It is actually a crescent, now I come to think of it. But once you've seen it, you've seen it. You go in a big semicircle and you're done. But it brings you here onto Rodeo Drive. Famous Rodeo Drive. This became representative, like quintessential Beverly Hills. And it is actually very, very nice. What I love about Beverly Hills is it's so well kept. There aren't homeless people living in the streets, for example, or there isn't litter everywhere or graffiti. It's just really, really nice, and made even better if you have money. If you have tons of money and can come down here to eat and shop and stuff without a care, that's obviously going to be much, much better than just walking around the streets thinking, God, I wish I were rich. I now have to get to Culver City, which is where the movie studio is. I don't want to arrive too early, otherwise I'm just going to have to stand outside the gates, and who knows if I'll want to pee during that time. I am very excited about this. It's not often in life you get to walk around a movie studio. So it cost $56 for the tour. But if you're willing to pay $150, then you get VIP treatment. But I'm not quite sure what that consists of, really. What could possibly be worth another $100? Unless you get to appear in a movie or something while you're there. Hey, you! I know you're a tourist, but do you want to act in this movie with Richard Gere? Okay, we're waiting for the Waymo. Apparently it's going to arrive here. It's very tricky to find out where it will come to because it doesn't want to block the traffic, apparently, on the street. Oh, here it is. Here it is, coming around now. Fantastic. Quickly, quickly, quickly. This is my car. This is my car. There is a button on the phone that you press to make the handle spring out, and then you can get in the car. So then you press start ride, and
heading to 3990 Overland Avenue.
Yeah, thank
Please
you.
Make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
Turn off the
For any
music.
questions.
Oh, please buckle your seatbelt. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm doing it. I can't do it. Oh my God. Shut up. There we go. You see, I'm getting used to this now. I'm a Waymo fanatic. I love this. I will never get an Uber or Lyft again if I have my choice. 7 minutes to drop off. There it is. Does it go now? You can go now. You see, when you press the button on the phone, that pops out. And after you're finished, it goes back in again, like that. You can't get back in the car. So this is now exciting. This is Sony Pictures, but the visitor center. So it's very unglamorous. Well, that's lucky. I could have used one of those when I was a child. I think the Waymo brought me to the wrong place. This is the senior center. I mean, I know I'm a senior, but this is like dance classes and stuff. Oh, that is so funny. It brought me to this parking lot here, and this isn't Sony Pictures. This is a senior center, and there were blood pressure tests inside and dance classes and events. Sony is over here, the other side of the road. Culver City Senior Center. I would fit right in. I'm supposed to be in my element there, but actually they looked a lot older than I am. Oh my God, what a disaster. At least I got to use their restroom, which is a very senior thing to do. I have like a 90-minute bladder window at my age. And so if I have coffee like I had at that hotel with my breakfast, I'm going to have to go to the restroom at least within 90 minutes after that. It's just the way my body functions at this age. I'm going to try to take video, but I can't guarantee that it's going to happen. Because these movie studios, they're worried about copyright infringement and intellectual property. It's got so legal now. Everybody's worried about you taking photos of things and video of things. So we'll see. But I intend to try if I can. These are members of the studio audience for Jeopardy. They're recording Jeopardy right now. And these are the kind of people who will be in the audience. I, on the other hand, would die a little bit on the inside if I had to be a member of the studio audience. All a museum like this does is remind me how few movies I've seen in my life. I assume this is a Ghostbusters thing, but I think this is supposed to be a replica of the Seinfeld apartment, but I'm not absolutely sure. I've only ever seen one episode of Seinfeld. There was cereal, though, in the cupboard, and I think Jerry likes cereal or something. I don't know. They're going to show us a movie, I think, about the history of the studio. This is my moment to take a nap, I suppose, when the lights go down. I don't have the power of retention. So you can throw 1,000 facts at me and I'll forget 1,000 of them as I'm hearing them. That was really very interesting. Unfortunately, they too, here at Sony, have a rule that you can't take videos while you're walking around. You can't even take photos inside the building, which makes it a very rough deal for showing you around. But it was very interesting. They, I think, cover about 40 acres here. At one time, it was owned by MGM, and so Wizard of Oz was made here on the sound stages. And they had a massive backlot with New York streets and a lake and cowboy towns and stuff. And then MGM went bust, as they so often do, and they demolished the backlot. That was such a shame, because what they're left with is a bunch of sound stages and offices. Not that that isn't interesting, but on the tour you don't get to go inside them except for Jeopardy, of course, and since I don't watch television, that really doesn't make any sense to me. I went around and you get to touch the buildings. A lot of the buildings are named after various stars, but more as tributes. It doesn't mean they actually went in there, except for Sean Connery's office. I touched the wall of Sean Connery's office, and it was like a big scoop came along and took me off my feet. The moment I touched the wall, it was like a big scoop just took the legs out from under me, and when I tried to stand up again, it carried on scooping and I fell down again. Very interesting, that. And when I went and touched the Frank Capra building, not that I know that Frank Capra ever went in there, but when I touched the Frank Capra building, there was, again, that kind of force that pushes you away. There's a tremendous force in these buildings. Maybe it's creative force, maybe that energy lingers, or it's just a kind of keep out, go away kind of force. We're doing something, we're busy. But I couldn't get close to it other than touching it, and then I had to move away. But I touched 3 sound stages, and each time I did, it felt like my body was dissipating, like it was breaking me down in a cellular fashion. I don't understand that, unless it's something to do with imagination, or disarming you, or overpowering you with magic or something. I don't know what that meant. But another time when I stood with my back to a sound stage, I felt my back dissipating in the back of my head, turning into little globules, kind of just drifting away towards the building. So I don't know what that is, but it happened every single time. They're shooting a lot of movies. I think they've got 90% capacity at the moment. And they show me things like the Breaking Bad RV, which means nothing to me. I've never seen the show. The Ghostbusters car, I saw that. And I saw the Ivan Reitman building, because he made Sony a lot of money. I sat next to Ivan Reitman once on a plane, and I was editing video for my lovely, lovely TV show, and he leaned over and said, "What's that for? What are you doing?" And, you know, I don't like talking to strangers. Even though I knew it was Ivan Reitman who produced and directed Ghostbusters, I didn't want to know. And so I said, I'm doing I think he was really affronted, because he just turned over and went to sleep. But I probably should have spoken to him. It might have advanced my career somewhat. You might have seen me in Ghostbusters 2 or something. Ha! And that was that, really. There are two kinds of tours. The one I went on cost $56. And I'm not sure it was worth it. It took 2 hours, but you can't really go on any of the sound stages. You can't film anything. It's a little bit geared to tourism, like you get to have your photo taken and you get to go in the gift shop and so on. But the more expensive tour is $150 something. And I asked the guide, well, what do you get for the extra $100? Because that's a lot of money. And she said they take you around by golf cart and you get a free coffee. Not even lunch for $150. And I pointed out the lunch thing, and she goes, well, I think there's another one for $200 where you get lunch. But really, who's going to pay $200 for what I had today? Not going on sound stages, not being able to video anything or take photographs, and then you get a free coffee. They're really going overboard promoting this movie, Goat. It's from the same people who brought you K-pop Demon Hunters. And during the presentation this morning, they had a trailer for it. Honestly, it looks terrible. I would never show that to anybody ahead of time. I mean, not that I would go and see it, really, but honestly, it looks terrible. If it's not, if it's amazing, then whoever made the trailer managed to completely put me off ever going to see it. I wonder if Kirk Douglas actually owned the theatre, or whether it was named after him. Probably named after him as a tribute. That's what normally happens. Same with the buildings inside Sony. You know, I once went to an event and I was invited, and somebody said, oh, just wear a tuxedo, it'll be fine, just show up. And so I sat in the theatre where it was held in my tuxedo, not really knowing why I was there, because nobody had told me. There was free wine and food, so that's what drew me in. But at some point I said to a woman in the row in front of me, what is this? What is this event? And she said, it's a memorial for Kirk Douglas. He died. I mean, it's not funny, but I had no idea. I think it was hosted by Angela Lansbury, and I noticed she had no shoulders. It was very strange, but lovely, I thought. Lovely presentation, but she had no shoulders. And now, unfortunately, she's dead too. Similarly, I don't know how, but I ended up at Bob Hope's, you know Bob Hope, Bob Hope's wake in his house after he died. And I was, again, just drawn by the food and the drink. But I met his wife, Dolores. I sat on his couch. I looked out at his mini golf course that he had outside. And I had no idea why I was there. And I still don't. But I ended up there. And I was invited back to the same house for Dolores's wake, her memorial thing. Isn't that weird? And I didn't know either of them. But I ended up at Bob Hope's house. I've decided to have lunch at a very, very notable and prestigious hotel called the Culver. This place has been around since the 1920s. There was a guy called Harry Culver who was traveling around America and just fell in love with California, basically, and also some silent film actress. That's always what goes wrong in these stories. And so he settled here. I don't know how long they lasted, but I bet it wasn't long. But he settled here. He really liked it. And he built the Culver Hotel. It's triangular and beautifully decorated and stuff. It's a real period piece. And it was here that many of the stars who were in Columbia Pictures productions stayed. So there would be the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz. They stayed in the Culver Hotel. And Clark Gable and Charlie Chaplin and John Wayne all came here and stayed. It's a real big deal. Oh, this is amazing. It does feel atmospheric. Just being here, it feels old. It feels historic. It has not a mustiness to it, but there's an energy here that says, I've been here a while. I'm getting a little tired. Please bear with me. You know, like somebody who's like 90 trying to get into an elevator and the doors keep trying to close and they can't. Just bear with me. It has that kind of feeling to it. That was very, very enjoyable. Strangely, they have on the check when it arrives a wellness charge. And at the end I said, well, what's the wellness charge? And they go, well, it's to pay for the health care of the staff. Really? That's a bit presumptuous of you. I mean, much as I want the staff to be well, why does that burden fall on me, really? But I paid it. But still, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, let's feel the walls and see if it's different from the inside. Oh! It reaches out and grabs me and pulls me into the wall. Like two big welcoming arms. Yeah, you see, so there is a contrast. The outside is cute and it's lovely and it's welcoming and it's, come on in, let's show you a good time. And of course you do have a good time, but you don't matter, clearly, according to the inside. You don't matter in the bigger picture. You matter in the moment, but the carpet rolls right over you and carries on to the next person. So you only matter in the moment, basically, which is what a hotel and restaurant are about, frankly. That's not a big deal. But yeah, the outside is very huggy, very ebullient and welcoming and almost cheeky. It's like, come on in, let's show you a good time. There's a bar in here. And then the inside is like, okay, so what do you want? Let's do right by you while you're here, but then you'll go and we'll forget you ever existed. Until the next time, perhaps. But very nice experience. Winding up a really, really interesting and fun day. Now I'm going to summon another Waymo, and I'll be out of here. This is getting to be my thing. I love this. No music, no driver to talk to me, just peace and quiet, and a long ride. Oh, God. Alrighty. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.